everyone. Welcome to episode 2. That means we're not a one-hit wonder.
And I haven't killed hers yet.
So on this episode, we thought it would be a good topic to give tips on moving in with your significant other.
I wouldn't even say tips. It was just things we learned.
Yeah.
Over time after we moved in together.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It was kind of timely this week because we found ourselves having that conversation a lot with a few friends of ours, and coincidentally this week was a year and a half since we moved in together. So kind of timely and just kind of out there as a topic for us. So we're going to start with tip 1, which is learn to communicate. And it may sound self-explanatory, but one of the biggest things you're going to learn as a couple moving in together is that communication is so important. And it's not necessarily just talking about the big things, but asking,
something as simple as asking to do something.
Mm-hmm. So for instance, it was brought to our attention that we're very polite with other people, but we were not very polite with each other. So a friend would come over and I may say, hey, can you get me this from the counter? And I would tell Vernon, oi, get me that over there.
No please.
No thank you. No thank you. But he would do me the same thing.
Yeah, I would do the same.
And, in a sense, it's a degree of comfort. But just little things like that. Just talking to somebody in a pleasant, polite
it goes
way.
A long way.
Yeah, and it prevents you, like if you're speaking nicely to your significant other, then it prevents you all from reading into things.
Or it could be I could be having a bad day and you give me a command and I just explode on you for no reason.
Because that has happened. So,
I wasn't the one doing the exploding, so
the door swings both ways. Alright, so number 2 is
learn to compromise. That's just a simple thing as you can't always have it your way.
This ain't Burger King, girl.
Sometimes you have to meet in the middle or even just let the person have their way. I mean, there are times we want to, something as simple as going out to eat somewhere, and she may want to go one place, I may want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think the key with that is making sure it's not one-sided, right?
Yeah.
So if you're the guy and you're just trying to give your girl what she wants, is she taking advantage of that, or is she also willing to give you a little bit of what you want? And I think those two, learning to communicate and learning to compromise, I think are the biggest things that you will learn as a couple moving in together, because that will literally make or break your relationship. So number 3 is know who your partner is, and in that sense, you know who who your love is. And for instance, Vernon is a joker. He's a character. He has a crazy sense of humor. So he'll make light of absolutely every and any situation. So it could be something simple he'll make a crack at, or something serious that he'll make a crack at. So it may be, hey Vernon, can you take out the trash? No. Or I could be having a serious discussion with him and he'll give, a funny response kind of sort of thing. And that could get you angry, right?
Yeah, if you don't know who you're dealing with.
Or if you're, interpreting it a certain way. But if fundamentally you know who your boyfriend, girlfriend is, their character traits, you should know how to respond to that, or know that, even if he's cracking a joke in the midst of something serious, it's not a disrespect thing. It's just kind of who he is.
Or it's not.
And that's not for every situation.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes it is inappropriate, right? But you can't chastise somebody so much for being themselves.
Yeah. And it's not that they're not listening to you or they're making fun of you. It's just that's just their character. Just
who they are, and that's the person you got into a relationship.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, you know who you got into the relationship with, and you know who you're gonna be moving in with. And I guess that kind of leads to the next point: is don't try to change your partner, because you knew who the person was from the get-go. So if you move in and they're doing stuff that you don't like, you may tell them that you don't like it, but it's not something that's gonna change overnight. If it is gonna change.
Well, I think the other side to that is a lot of times, people may have be having a relationship and already have relationship issues. They already may have a problem with their partner, but they think that moving in together will solve that problem, or that they'll be able to change that person. Or
newsflash, it's not. It's just going to put the person in your headspace even more for you to see the problem even more.
Yeah, and don't try to. I mean, yes, maybe there are some things you may be able to work on together, but if you know that Vernon is a certain way, and that's his character, why would you try to change him to make him what you want? That person is who they are. It's kind of like, when they those movies where there are girls that have their list of the perfect guy, and they're trying to mold them into, it's kind of like that, so once you move in together, don't use moving in together as a means to try and change
or fix
fix
stuff.
That's a good word.
It never does.
So number 4 is really about, once you move in together, no matter where it is, it's about understanding that it's your collective space. In terms of, okay, you could be getting your own new apartment like we did, but even before we did that, he moved into my apartment. But for us, the moment he moved into my apartment, it wasn't my apartment
anymore. It became our apartment.
Right. And I think if that's the situation that you're going through, or for convenience,
or just the transition period,
you should, for maximum success, I think you need to think of it as our apartment.
Because when you start thinking it as individual own spaces, you run into things of people saying things like, get out of my apartment, when you get angry, and you don't want that.
And even if you get angry and you say that, even if you didn't mean it, you've already crossed an edge, or you maybe put somebody in a really difficult position because they put their eggs in
that one basket of moving in, and then you turn around and you tell them, get out of my apartment.
So I think
it kind of stings. I mean, I don't know how it is for a girl, but if a girl told a guy that, like, I would think it would hurt you, like, your ego big time, to be getting told, get out of my apartment. So
I think the moment you move in together, you need to think of it as our space, and that even goes past thinking of the worst case scenario in terms of you thinking it of my space and telling them get out, but also in terms of making space, physical space for them in what used to be your space. So not hogging the entire bathroom, like making it comfortable for that person to come in and really take the step in not being a combined
being a team.
Exactly. So the next one,
appreciate time apart.
And that one is more like, I don't know how people, I can't even remember how I thought about it.
No, I just think of it as like, not because you live together means you have to be in the person's foot 24 hours, like all day, every day. That's the thing, you're not in my space all day, every day. Even though we at home, sometimes I'm at my computer, you're on the couch watching TV, or you in the kitchen.
And I think it's about expectation, because before you move in together, the time that you spend together is very much we time. But once you move in together, it needs to become a balance of we time and me time. So, you can't expect that once you live together, you're just gonna be hanging out, doing something together all the time. both for your partner and for yourself, you kind of need a break, or a breath of fresh
well,
air.
it's not only that. There's sometimes you want to do stuff and I don't want to do something. I just want to stay at home and watch TV.
Yeah, and I think there are so many friends we've had, it's come up that, he or she is living with this person now. I'm their friend. I don't even see them anymore. And I don't think, like, taking that next step in a relationship and living together means that you
cut off your friends.
Yeah, so for instance, like last night, he went out to a poker night or whatever, and I was just home with Charlie. But anyway, no, I mean, I was completely fine with it. I had options to go out, but, he had his thing, and I was completely fine with it, So I think it's all about give and take.
Well, and also, like, in my opinion, before you moved in with someone, you two people were two individuals.
Yeah.
You had your own things going on. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean when you move in, your stuff stops going on, or you take on the other person's identity and only do what the other person wants to do, type of thing. Like, you still have to be you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's really our 5.
That's what we've encountered. I guess
our top 5 kind of areas that you that may be beneficial for you to consider if you're in that situation of moving in with somebody, or thinking about moving in with somebody, or even know someone that's moving in with someone.
Yeah, so, I mean, you could take it how you want. No, because some people be like, who are they to think they can give people relationship advice? It's not giving advice, it's just what we've encountered, what we've learned along the way. Because, I mean, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies in the beginning. I mean, don't say that it was bad, but it wasn't perfect. And it took time for us to,
Yeah, and I think just before we end here, just, some additional things. Just remember that when you're moving in together, it's not only like a physical moving in together or a relationship point, it's also a financial thing. Like, it's really a next step in your relationship, because my financial habits and his financial habits may be completely different. And that's not saying that because you move in together you have to do that, but if you do have shared expenses, that's a whole new territory that you're going to have to navigate.
Be prepared to do that budget.
Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing, the other takeaway is that don't let small things, like small arguments or little nitpicking and stuff here and there, snowball into
a larger problem.
Mm-hmm. Or don't let things build up, little things build up so much that you escalate it into a larger problem. That's it.
That's what we have for now. So thanks for coming back.
Or thanks for coming if this is your first time. Alright, so see you guys next week, and don't forget to subscribe.